start my workout for today. All I'm using for today is my jump rope mat, my jump rope, and a set of light dumbbells. But if you don't have any equipment, don't go anywhere because you can still do this workout right along with me. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video, so if you would prefer to skip straight ahead to the workout, you can use the chapter markers to do that. I'm not going to go through a full tutorial today because there are too many exercises and it would take a long time to go through everything. These are all very basic exercises that we're doing today, and most of them we've done before. I do always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video. So if you read the description box down below the video, you'll see all of the exercises listed out in order. You'll see the entire format explained, and I'm going to share my entire workout with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if there are any questions about the format of today's workout, how it all fits together, if you have questions about the exercises that we're going to be doing today, or if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications, I'm always here to help. It's really important that you do understand the exercises, you understand the movement, and you understand how to do the exercises with the correct form before you begin the workout, so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. It's also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me, and I'm always here to help facilitate that. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. So now let me just briefly explain the format of today's workout, and then we'll get right into it, and I'll do my best to just walk you through the exercises and provide your equipment-free substitutions and beginner modifications as we are going. So this workout is going to be split up into 2 parts or 3 parts depending on how you look at it. I'm going to be doing 1,000 reps with my light set of dumbbells. I'm also going to be doing a total of 2,000 revolutions with my jump rope, but I'm going to split up the jump rope. So I'm doing 20 sets of 100 with my jump rope, but instead of doing it all at once, I'm going to split it up. So I'm going to bookend the workout with jump rope. We're going to start by doing 10 sets of 100 with the jump rope, and we're going to finish by doing 10 sets of 100 with the jump rope. And in between those 2 jump rope sections, that's where we're going to be doing our 1,000 reps with our light set of dumbbells. So if you don't have a jump rope, that's fine. You can still do this workout right along with me. You have several options. Option number 1 is to simply eliminate the jump rope sections. If you want to do that, that's totally fine. If you just do the middle portion of this workout, just the 1,000 reps with the light set of dumbbells, that will totally work as a standalone workout. So that's your first option. Just do the middle section of the workout with me. And that's absolutely fine. If you do want to include the additional cardio, first of all, if you do have a jump rope, let me just explain what I'm doing. So when I say a set of 100, I'm talking about revolutions of the jump rope. So any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. When I jump rope, I always just kind of jog in place like this. But any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. So if you are more comfortable jumping with your feet together, jump with your feet together. If you're really good at jump rope, you can feel free to do a more challenging jump rope variation like high knees or jump rope jacks. It doesn't matter. The only important thing is that we're counting revolutions of the rope. So you're going to count 100 revolutions of the jump rope, that's 1 set, and we're going to do 10 sets at the start of the workout and then another 10 sets at the end of the workout. So 10 sets of 100 with my jump rope typically takes me somewhere in the neighborhood of about plus or minus 10 minutes or so. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, sometimes a lot more, but generally about 10 minutes or so. So if you don't have a jump rope, did I mention already that you can simply scrap the jump rope sections? If I didn't, you can do that. You can scrap the jump rope sections if you want and just do the middle portion of the workout. But if you don't have a jump rope and you do want to include that additional cardio, then again, you have several options. So the first option is to simply pantomime jumping rope. So they actually sell ropeless jump ropes. It's really just two handles that you hold on to while you pretend that you're jumping over an imaginary rope. So you can buy one of those if that seems useful to you. I will say that if you follow my workouts regularly, you'll get a ton of use out of it because I jump rope with almost every workout these days. However, my personal recommendation would be to save your money, because if you are already jumping over an imaginary rope, I see no reason why you need to hold on to handles to do that. Why can't you hold on to imaginary handles while you jump over your imaginary rope and really just do this? That's fine. Or you can jump rope like I do, where you're kind of jogging in place. So that's your first option. You also can not pretend to jump rope and you can just jog in place. Or you can do high knees, you can do jumping jacks, mountain climbers, pendulum, any number of cardio exercises that you want to do. So any type of cardio exercise you want to do will work. If you don't want to do that, another suggestion is to just do 10 minutes, like if you have an elliptical or a treadmill or an exercise bike or a Stairmaster, anything like that, you could just hop on one of those for 10 minutes. You could go for a jog. So you could jog around your neighborhood if you want. 10 minutes for some people is a mile. And for some people, if you're super fast, maybe it's 2 miles, but that would be totally fine. You could just start with like a 1 mile run and then get back home, do the middle section of the workout with me, and then go for another 1 mile run. Or if you have access to the field at your local high school, you can run around the track and then just do the middle part of the workout right there on the field. That would work. If you don't want to run around the track, you could do up and down the bleachers for 10 minutes. If you want to stay home and you have stairs in your home, you could do up and down the stairs. If you live in an apartment complex, you probably have stairs in your apartment complex. So you could do up and down the stairs there. Or if you wanted to take this workout to a local hiking trail or a park or a beach that has steps, you could do up and down the steps there. So lots of options for your additional cardio. If you have a heavy bag, you could work on your heavy bag for 10 minutes. So just get creative, use your space, use what's available to you, but there are endless ways to get in 10 minutes of cardio. So plus or minus about 10 minutes of cardio, any way you want to get it done will work for those 2 sections where I'm jumping rope. So the only other thing that I'm using, well, I'm using an exercise mat. You will need something soft beneath you. I'm really using my jump rope mat because it's nice and thick, and I like that out here on the concrete. So if you have a yoga mat or an exercise mat, definitely go ahead and get that ready. Yoga mats are very thin. If you're working out on concrete or something, I recommend one of those thicker exercise mats, but a yoga mat will work just fine. If you don't have a mat, a towel really should be fine. There's plenty of times where I'm traveling, if I don't have my mat with me, and the place I'm staying has like a concrete patio like this, I have absolutely done exercises like this, like what I'm about to do, using just a towel, like a beach towel, and it's totally fine. So that depends on, I guess, how sensitive you are, but definitely grab an exercise mat or yoga mat if you have one. If not, get a towel ready. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, so like if you're taking this workout to the park or the field at your local high school and you're doing this middle section on grass, you might not need anything at all. And if you're staying home and your floor is carpeted, or if you're traveling and you're in a hotel room with a carpeted floor, you really probably don't need anything at all. But if you have a mat, get it ready. Other than that, I'm using 1 set of light dumbbells. For reference, and for reference only, my dumbbells that I'm using today weigh 5 pounds a piece. That feels light to me. So you may need to use something lighter than that. You may actually need to use something a little heavier than that. That depends on you. That depends on your strength and your level of fitness, what you have available to you, and how hard you're looking to push yourself today. So please consider all of those factors when choosing your weight and make the decision that is best for you. But I'm going to caution you that I do not recommend using a set of dumbbells that feels heavy to you for today's workout. We're just doing so many reps. Some of these exercises you really can do with heavier weights, but not so many reps. And because we're doing 1,000 reps, I just don't think it's a smart idea to use weights unless they feel light to you. So if you need to use 1 pound weights or 2 pounds or 3 pounds, that's fine. If 5 pounds feels too light to you, you can use 8s or even 10s. It really depends on how strong you are, but for me, these 5 pound weights are going to be plenty heavy enough. By the end of the workout, they're going to feel like they weigh 50 pounds to me. So again, it's a very personal decision. I can't tell you what weights to use because it depends, like I said, on your strength and on your level of fitness and what you have available to you. So if you don't have a set of light dumbbells, like let's say you have dumbbells, but you don't have a set that feels really light to you, then you're gonna have to find something else to use. But it's really easy to do that because a couple of water bottles will absolutely work. So if you have a couple of reusable water bottles, you can fill them with water or uncooked rice, dried beans, maybe kitty litter or like powdered laundry detergent. Okay, just fill them with some sort of weight and that will be perfect. That will work absolutely perfectly for this workout. You can even just grab a couple of cans of soup from the pantry. That also will work great. So look for household items that will work. Again, we're not going to be lifting anything heavy. So something like water bottles or shampoo bottles filled with some sort of weight or even a couple cans of soup will work just fine. If you really just don't have anything you can use for weight or you don't feel comfortable adding even just a tiny bit of weight to your workout, that's fine. You don't have to add weight. All of these exercises can be done without any added weight, but I'm going to recommend that you challenge yourself and find something that weighs even just 1 or 2 or 3 pounds and just try these exercises with the added weight. And if it becomes too taxing, because like I said, we're doing a lot of reps, so by the end of the workout, even your light weight is going to start to feel a lot heavier to you. So remember, you can always drop the weight, but I'm going to encourage you, even if you're a beginner and you've never added weight to your workouts before, that you challenge yourself to try to add a little bit of weight, even if it's only a pound or 2. So I'm definitely not trying to pressure you into forcing your body to do something that it's not ready to do, but I do want to encourage you to just kind of test yourself a little, try it. Just try it out, adding a little bit of weight, even if it's only for a few reps. So that's my suggestion. Just grab a couple of very light weights and just try it, but make the decision that's best for you. If weights are a no-go, then they're a no-go. You don't have to use weights. All right, that is enough talking about weights and about pretty much everything. Let's go ahead and start the workout. So just remember, especially if you're working out along with the video, please to work to your own level, go at your own pace. Don't push your body into doing something it's not ready to do, and mind your form. Do not sacrifice your form for speed. Yes, I'm timing the workout and we're trying to complete the workout in as little time as possible. You know, I love setting a time goal and pushing myself to complete the workout as quickly as I can, but not at the expense of my form. So if you find yourself racing through the exercises and you're just kind of going through the motions, your form's getting sloppy because you're just trying to go fast for the sake of going fast, I want you to stop, take a couple of deep breaths, and recenter your focus on your form. It is very important that you prioritize your proper form above all else. And other than that, just do your best. Your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. This is going to be a tough workout, even though my weights are so light. This is going to be a really tough workout, so just do your best. Hopefully I've covered everything, so if you are ready to go ahead and do this workout with me, grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If not, maybe a towel. Grab your jump rope if you have one, and if you're jumping rope with me today, grab a set of light dumbbells if you have them. If not, household items, a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles filled with some sort of weight, or a couple of cans of soup. Take a minute to make sure you are good and warmed up, and when you're ready, let's get started. All right, so when you're ready, we are starting with jump rope. I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So 10 sets of 100, counting 100 revolutions of the jump rope. So you'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 80, 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. So that's our first set of 100. I like to just make a little slash so that I don't lose track of how many sets I've done. We're going to do that 9 more times, and then we'll move on to the main part of the workout. All right, here we go. Set number 2. Try to keep your rest breaks in between sets as short as you can. That was set number 5. We're halfway there. Just 5 more to go. That was set number 8. Just 2 more to go. Keep pushing. Okay, that was 9. Last set. That's 100. I might have done an extra 20 reps, but I feel like my mind started to wander a little and I might have lost count of my reps, so just figured I'd tack on a few extra revolutions of the jump rope, but that was at least 1,000 reps in just under 9 minutes. So that's our part 1. So now we're nice and warm, and it is starting to really warm up out here. Okay, so now 10 exercises with the dumbbells, 100 reps of each exercise. That's our 1,000 reps. So we're starting with hundreds. If you've ever done a Pilates class, you've done hundreds, so you can do them without weights. That's absolutely fine. You're just gonna straighten your legs and pump the hands. Your hands are just kind of hovering above the ground. You're tightening up your abs super tight. This is a total burnout for your core, and you're just pulsing your arms like this. I'm going to add weight to this to increase the difficulty by a lot. So each pulse is 1 rep. If you're doing it without weights, you will finish before me, so you can just skip ahead in the video to the next exercise. If you're adding weight, then again, just go at your own pace. You might be faster than me, you might be slower than me. Either way is fine. Just do your best. Go at your own pace. When you're ready, here we go. So we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to 100. Do your best. That's 40 for me. I'm gonna pause and rest here. If we were doing 50, I would have kept going. I didn't necessarily need to stop right there, but because I'm pacing myself to do 100, I'm gonna take a little rest right here, about a minute or so. Probably between about 30 seconds to 60 seconds. I'm not timing it, but just estimating. Always, if you need to rest longer than I am, you can pause the video and just come back when you're ready. I'm gonna see if I can do another set of 20 unbroken. I may or may not be able to. I'm sure at some point I'll have to go down to sets of 10 or 15, but I'll see if I can do another 20 unbroken. It's probably been almost a minute, so let me go ahead and see if I can string together another 20. So I'm picking up my count at 40. That's 60. I'm just recovering from 20 and not 40, so I'm going to try to keep this rest break to about 20 to 30 seconds. And I'll keep going with sets of 20 for as long as I can. So picking up my count at 60 when you're ready. Let's see if I can do another 20 without stopping. Five. That's 70. 75, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. So it's not, for me anyway, the way I approach it is I don't necessarily want to go till failure each time because I'm pacing myself for 100. So it's about getting through it as efficiently as I can. I want to be able to move through the exercise quickly. So I don't necessarily want to work till failure. I'm just going to take short little rest breaks. So now I'm picking up my count at 80. So I just have 20 left to go. Let's see if I can do them unbroken. So when you're ready, picking up my count at 80. That's 85. 90, just 10 more, push. 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. All right, so that's exercise number 1 out of 10 complete. This next one is going to be tough, following the exercise we just did. So let me show you your equipment-free modification first if you want a body weight alternative. So again, we're going to be down here on the mat on our backs on the mat for our first 4 exercises. So stay right where you are on your back, knees are bent, feet are flat on the mat. Now you are going to extend your arms to the side, lift your shoulder blades up off the mat, and now you're just going to do this little oblique twist. So you're staying on this plane. So imagine if there's a wall right above you, a wall right beneath you. So you can't come up and you can't go down. You have to stay right here on this plane. And all you're doing is just using those obliques to shift your body this way and tap this heel, and now switch to the other side. Each heel tap is 1 rep. We're alternating sides, so you're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. That's your body weight modification. I'm going to be holding onto my 5-pound dumbbells while I do that. It adds a lot of difficulty. So again, if you're doing the body weight version, you will definitely finish this before me. So just do your best. If you want to start holding your weights and then it gets too taxing, you can always drop the weights. So let's go ahead and start on these. Just pick up your weights, extend the arms to the side, lift your shoulder blades up off the mat, twist and tap, twist and tap. That's 40 for me. So for me, I'm taking a rest break here. It's the same thing as hundreds. If we were doing a set of 50, I would have just kept going and knocked out all 50 reps at once. But because I'm pacing myself for 100, I'm gonna see if I can approach this one the same way I did the 100. So I did my first 40 reps unbroken. Now I'm gonna see if I can take shorter rest breaks and do sets of 20 until I'm done with my 100 reps. So shake it out. If you're holding weights with me, especially when you're ready, here we go. So I'm picking up my count at 40. I'm gonna see if I can do another 20 unbroken. So lift up your weights, extend the arms out to the sides, lift your shoulder blades, and twist and tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 50. 60. 70. 80. I got to 20 and I realized I had plenty left to give, so I just went ahead and did another set of 40. So now I'm at 80 and I just have 20 left to go. So quick 15, 20-second rest break. Again, I'm not timing it, I'm just kind of estimating. All right, when you're ready, let's go ahead and finish up with these last 20 reps. So I'm picking up my count at 80. 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. Nice. 2 down, 8 to go. Next is dead bugs. We've done these many times before, and you can very much do these without any added weight. Let's wait for the plane so I don't have to shout. So we're still down on our mat, on our back, knees bent, feet flat on the ground. Now you're going to pick up your feet, and you want your knees at about a 90-degree angle, more or less. And then you're going to extend your arms up overhead. You're going to drop one arm to the ground behind you, and as you do that, you're going to extend the opposite leg, tap that heel down on the ground, then reverse the movement. Return to your starting position, alternate sides. So now you're going to drop the other arm overhead, and as you do that, you're going to extend the opposite leg, tap the heel to the ground, return to your starting position. All right, so that's 1, 2. Try to not move your arm and your leg that's not moving. Try to keep them still. Make sure your abs are super tight. Tilt your pelvis so that your lower back is pressed into the mat. Tighten up those abs. We're going to 100. So pick up your weights if you're using weights. And here we go. It's 10. Keep those abs super tight. It's 20. We're a quarter of the way there. Keep pushing. That's 35. I'm going to do 5 more and then take a little rest break. So 36, 37, 38, 39, last one, and 40. Same thing with this one. I was not failing yet. I could have kept going. I could have easily done another 10 if we were just doing 50 of these, but since we're doing 100, I'm pacing myself for 100. So I'm going to pause here, rest for about 30 to 60 seconds, and then I'm going to see if I can continue with sets of 20. So I've completed 40. I'm going to try to keep going with sets of 20. So hopefully just 3 more sets of 20 and I'm there. If I can no longer continue with sets of 20, I'll do sets of 10. Break it up however you need to, and if you can do all 100 without pausing to rest, great, you should do that, as long as you're not losing anything off of your form. Remember to prioritize your proper form and make sure you're keeping every aspect of the movement under control. So don't just let your heel drop, make sure you're controlling the movement. You want to tap that heel down, but legs are bent. You want to tap the heel down and touch the ground. You want to explore your full range of motion, but make sure it's not just dropping, you're controlling the movement. Same thing with the dumbbell. Don't just drop it on the ground. Control, 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 and lightly tap it to the ground. All right, so when you're ready, picking up my count at 40, here we go. We're gonna go for another 20. Do your best. I think that was 20, right? I'm pretty sure. So that was 60 for me. I don't feel like I need a very long rest break. Maybe just let go of the weights for a second, give my hands a break, but other than that, I feel like I can keep going. So again, just about 15-20 seconds rest for me. You take a longer rest break if you need to. I'm gonna pick up my count at 60, and I'm going to try to see if I can do another 20 reps without stopping. I'm gonna try to see if I can just keep doing sets of 20 from here on out. It's only 2 more sets of 20, so let's push. If you can't do 20, do 10, it's fine. That's 70. $75. It's 80 for me. So I have just one more set of 20 to go. Just pausing for 20, 30 seconds. Stretching out my hands a little bit. It's a long time to grip the dumbbells for, so. Just taking a minute to stretch out my hands. All right, final set of 20, here we go. When you're ready. Picking up my count at 80, so that's 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, just 15 more, keep going. That's 90. 95, just 5 more, we got this. 96, 97, 98, 99, last one. That is 100. All right, that is our third exercise. Check. You do a good thing, you get a check. All right, shake it out. Next is going to be glute bridge raises. I'm also adding an arm raise. So if you're not holding on to any weight, you don't need to do this bit because there's really not much of a point to it. Unless you just want to like loosen up your shoulders, work on some shoulder mobility, you can do it, but it's not really going to do anything to build strength, so that's up to you. But basically we're doing glute bridge raises, so any variation of glute bridge raises you want to do is fine. This is our last exercise that we're down here on the mat in this position. So still starting on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the mat. You're going to press your heels into the mat. Lift your hips as high as you can. Make sure you're squeezing those glutes super tight at the top, and then control the movement all the way down as you drop your hips back down to the mat. You don't have to go that slowly. I'm just illustrating a point that you don't want to let your hips drop down. You want the movement to be under control. All right, so you're just lifting the hips, tightening the glutes, and then lowering the hips. And you can do this if you want. I am going to be doing that because I'm going to be holding on to my dumbbells. So I'm going to start with my arms extended overhead like this. And I'm going to bring my dumbbells up and over and let them rest on my hips. And then I'm going to do my glute bridge raise. So pressing the heels into the mat, lifting the hips high, squeezing the glutes, controlling the movement on the way down, and then returning to my starting position with my dumbbells. So that's 1, we're going to 100, do your best. So arm raise, glute bridge raise, and return to your starting position, that's 2. 3. 4. 5, keep going. right, that's 20 for me. For this one, I think I'm going to just see if I can do unbroken sets of 20 for the entire duration. So 5 sets of 20, but I might need to start doing sets of 10. We'll see how my shoulder holds up. It's always my left shoulder that gives me issues. It's weaker, it's tighter. So this actually is a great exercise to help loosen up your shoulders, but I just tend to get tight right here. So I think my right shoulder can do 5 sets of 20. I'm not sure if my left shoulder can, so just do what works for you. You break it up any way you need to. Remember, if you started holding weights and they're getting too heavy, you can put them down for the next 20 reps and then maybe pick them up again. It's up to you, or you can just ditch them. Remember also, as you're doing this, to make sure you're not locking out your elbows. You don't want your arm perfectly straight. Make sure there's a slight bend to your elbow the entire time as you're doing this overhead arm raise, okay? So I'm going to, that's probably been just under a minute, maybe a little more. So that should be plenty of time. I'm going to go ahead and start on my next set of 20. Hopefully I can do them unbroken. So just do your best. When you're ready, here we go. That's 30. I'm going to go for another 10 if I can. That's 40 for me. That set of 20 was noticeably more taxing for me than the first set, but I think I can do at least one more set of 20. Just stretch out my shoulder while I'm resting. Make sure, again, with this one, really it's important with this one that the movement is under control, because if you're letting the weights hit the ground too hard, it's really gonna hurt your knuckles. I'm barely letting, tapping the ground with my knuckles. Because these weights are light, so this part of the weight is small, and so my knuckles hit the ground before the weight does, if that makes sense. So I'm really just barely kissing the ground with my knuckles, because otherwise it's really painful. If you let the weights go all the way down to the ground, then you're basically like punching the concrete every time. So make sure the movement's under control. All right, starting to need a longer rest break. So remember to, if you need a rest break, take as long as you need, but just continue to challenge yourself to keep the rest break as short as you can. All right, so when you are ready, if you need to rest for longer, you can pause the video. Come back when you're ready. Here we go. I'm picking up my count at 40. I'm gonna see if I can do another 20 without stopping. It's probably a good minute at least rest break, so I should be able to get another 20 done. We'll see. That's 50. We're halfway there. Let's see if we can do another 10 before we take a rest break. It's 55, 5 more, keep pushing. 56, 57, 58, 59, one more, and then we'll rest, or I'll rest. You don't have to if you don't need to. I need to. All right, that's 60. So here I have a choice to make. I'm needing to rest longer in between these sets of 20. So I could make the choice to start doing sets of 10 so that I can keep my rest breaks in between shorter, and that might be more efficient, but I think with where I am now, I would prefer to just continue to do sets of 20 if I can. So I've completed 60. I know I'm needing a good minute at least rest in between to regain strength, but I think I can do 2 more sets of 20. And I think I would rather push myself. Like I said, I'm not pushing myself all the way to the point of failure, but I'd rather do the more taxing, continue to do sets of 20 and really tax myself in that way, rather than to break it up into sets of 10. So I'm going to do, oh my God, I'm like dripping sweat everywhere off of my body right now. All right, so I'm gonna do my best to see if I can keep doing sets of 20. So I only have 2 more sets of 20 to go. So if I can do 2 more sets of 20, I'm good. All right, that's been at least a minute, probably more. When you're ready, here we go, I'm picking up my count at 60. That's 70. I'm gonna try to keep going. I mean, I am gonna keep going. I'm just gonna see if I can do another 10 unbroken. 71. 2. 3. 4. That's 75. We are 3/4 of the way finished with this exercise. Let's keep pushing. 76. 77. Let's do 3 more. 78. 2 more. That's 79. Last one, and then we'll take a little break. That's 80. All right. Again, you don't need to rest you don't have to rest if you don't need to. I need to. My left shoulder is just, I need to do some extra work stretching out this shoulder because all the workouts we've done this week, I mean, my quads are like killing me, of course, but, or last week I should say, my quads are killing me, of course, but I'm feeling my shoulder a lot, this left shoulder, so I need to definitely take extra time to stretch this shoulder specifically today. It is so tight right now. All right, so that's been about a minute, maybe? I don't know. Who knows? Distracted by squirrels and chit-chatting about my shoulder. It's probably been about a minute at least, probably more. So let me go ahead and start on my final set of 20. And I'll see if I can do them unbroken, but we just have 20 reps left to go. So I'm picking up my count at 80. When you are ready, here we go. That's 90, just 10 more. I'm gonna keep pushing. Rest if you need to. We just have 10 reps left to go. That's 95, we're right there. Let's keep pushing. This is our final 5 reps. We got this. 96. 97. 98, just 2 more. Push. That's 99, last one. All right, that is 100. Nice. Shake it out. That was our 4th exercise. So we are almost halfway through with the workout. Let's see, we're still under an hour. So hopefully we can get this one done in, I don't know, 90 minutes, we'll see. So I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning that obviously if you're a beginner, you can absolutely reduce the amount of reps. If doing 100 reps of everything is too many for you, just do 50 or 20, all right, whatever works for you. The other thing is that if you think you can do all 100 reps but not at once, you can always break them up. You can do 20 reps of each exercise and then go through the circuit 5 times, or you can go through the circuit 2 or 3 times, whatever works for you, okay? I just like symmetry, and I like this idea of doing 100 reps of everything in a row for 10 exercises, 1,000 reps, and then 1,000 reps with the jump rope on either end of the workout to kind of round things out. So you do what works for you. Oh my God, I need a massage. This whole shoulder is like my rotator, everything is so tight. All right, next is lat pulses. So you can do this with no added weight, that's fine. It's not gonna be super taxing, but if you're doing the bodyweight versions, you can absolutely just do this, that's fine. My palms are facing you, and I'm just pressing them up to the ceiling. So it's like you're from this position, you're trying to press your palms all the way up to the ceiling. So get them as high as you can, and you're just gonna pulse. Each pulse is 1 rep. You could also really use a resistance band for this. If you don't have weights, but you have a resistance band, that would be great. This would be a really effective exercise to do with a resistance band wrapped around your wrists or your forearms or even your biceps. All right, so that's another possibility. But I encourage you to pick up something light. 1 or 2 or 3 pound dumbbells or a couple of water bottles or shampoo bottles, cans of soup. Just try this with weight for a few reps, and then if you can't continue with weight, you can drop the weight. But I'm going to be doing the exact same thing with my dumbbells. So if you're looking at me from behind, my palms are facing you, and I'm just gonna pulse. I'm just gonna lift my palms to the ceiling and pulse. And each pulse counts as 1 rep, and we're going to 100. So just pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. That's 40 for me. If you're not doing weight, you can most likely do all 100 of these in one unbroken stretch. For me, I'm going to break these up the same way I did with the first and second exercises, the 100s and then the oblique heel taps. I did my first 40 unbroken, and now I'm gonna try to just do sets of 20. If it bothers you to be on your knees this long, because we're also going to be on our knees for the next exercise, you can absolutely do this standing up. You can just stand up and do the same thing from a standing position if this is bothering your knees. But we are going to be on our knees for the next exercise, so if you need additional support for your knees, you can fold up your mat, or you can grab a towel or a pillow or something for underneath your knees for the next exercise. All right, when you're ready, I'm going to try to continue with sets of 20. So I'm picking up my count at 40. That's 60 for me. So now I'm gonna try to do short rest breaks, sets of 20 for the remainder of this set. So just about maybe 15, 20-second rest breaks. Less if you can, more if you need it. So I'm picking up my count at 60. Let's try to do another 20 unbroken when you're ready. 70. That's 80. So just one more set of 20. Again, I'm going to take this time maybe a little longer, maybe a good 30 seconds to rest. Just shake it out. Have to figure out when I have time to squeeze in a massage. Good Lord. And they need to just work on the shoulder the whole time. All right, so I'm picking up my count at 80. What am I on, 60 or 80? Oh my God. I lost track of where I am. I think I'm on 80. Yeah, I'm on 80. Okay, so just 20 more and then we're done. When you're ready, here we go. 90. That's 100. Right? I'm pretty sure. I did the first 40 unbroken, 60, 81. Yeah, I did 3 sets of 20 after that. All right. So that's it. That is exercise number 5. We are halfway finished with this workout. This next one's going to be tough, but again, you can absolutely do it without any added weight. So here is your body weight alternative. I already warned you, we're still on our knees, so if you need to get fold up a towel or put a pillow underneath your knees so that you have a little extra protection for your knees. Do that now. But here's the exercise. We're going to be kneeling upright again like this. You're going to extend. I'm gonna have to move this way a little because I don't want to be hitting my gate. Okay, you're going to extend both arms out to the side, and then you're going to twist and tap the heel. Now, depending on your range of motion, you may tap this heel, or you may tap the opposite heel if you're able to twist far enough to tap this heel. All right, so wherever is comfortable for you, you can come here or you can come here. And then you're just gonna twist and tap, twist and tap, twist and tap, twist and tap, twist and tap. We're alternating sides. So each time you tap, your heel is 1 rep, and we're going to 20. That's your body weight modification. I'm going to be doing the same thing, holding onto my weight. So when I do this exercise without any added weight, which I do frequently, I always twist and tap the opposite heel. When I add weight, I shorten up my range of motion and I tap the outside of this heel that's on the same side. Okay, so adding weight might make that difference for you, but you do whatever's comfortable for you. I don't want to be this far from the gate, but I also don't want to hit the gate. All right, let's see what happens from here. All right, it's gonna be tough. I'll see if I can do my first 20 without stopping, and at some point I'll probably need to just start doing sets of 10, but we'll get them done. And then after this, we're still gonna kind of be on our knees, but not like this. It won't be as bad. All right. So when you're ready, here we go. Actually, maybe I do. I think I am gonna tap the far, we'll see. All right, it doesn't matter. Tap whatever heel you want to. Zip the lip and let's do this. Here we go. So twist and tap, twist and tap. That's 2, 3, 4. We're going to 100, do your best. So that's 20 for me. Again, with this one, if you're not adding weight, I don't care if you straighten your arms. But if you're adding weight to it, same thing, make sure you're not locking your elbow. You're not actively trying to straighten your arm. Make sure there's a soft bend to your elbow, okay? Sets of 20 for as long as I can, and ideally I can do this one the same way we did our glute bridge raises with just 5 unbroken sets of 20. So break it up however works for you, but yeah. And if you need to reduce the amount of reps, you can do 50 or 75, it doesn't matter, or 76. If you do 75, you get even. We can't have that. All right, stop chit-chatting. Oh my gosh, here we go. Pick up my count at 20. So that's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Keep going if you can. That's 40 for me. Again, for me, the decision is about how efficiently I can get through the set. So I'm not working to failure. You can if you want. There are different ways. What is it? There's more than one way to skin a cat. I don't like that. Oh, but you get the idea. More than one way to peel a potato, my friends. All right. Where am I? This is why I have to stop chit-chatting. That was my second set of 20, so that was 40. So let's continue with sets of 20 if we can. When you're ready, here we go. That's 50. We're halfway there. Keep pushing. That's 60. So that's our next set of 20 complete. Try to shorten up the rest breaks because we are already almost at an hour. We still have a lot of reps left to go. So all right, when you're ready, I am picking up my count at 60. So I have 2 more sets of 20 to go. That's 70. That's 80. Just one more set of 20. All right, let's go for it when you're ready. If you're not ready, then pause the video. When you are ready, come back. Here we go. Final set of 20. That's 90. $95, $96, $97, $98, $99, $100. Nicely done, number 1. Tell me I'm not one of 3 people alive that gets that reference. Whoop-de-doo, number 2. Call your doctor. Mow the grass. All right. Oh, what am I doing? I'm gonna show you your body weight alternative first. So bird dogs. So we are again down on our knees, but it's going to be a little less taxing because your hands are here your arms are here to support some of your weight. But again, if you have your towel, just place it under your knees so you have a little bit of extra protection for your knees. Start from a tabletop position. So your knees are bent, knees are right underneath your hips, and your hands are right underneath your shoulders. You're going to extend one arm and one leg, the opposite leg. So now you're just going to keep this foot elevated off the ground the whole time if you can, and you're gonna crunch. So you're going to tuck the knee towards the chest, and you're going to bring the opposite elbow to touch the knee, and then extend. We're staying on the same side. So crunch and extend, knee to elbow and extend. So we're doing 100 reps of everything. So for this exercise and for the next exercise, we're doing 50 reps on each side. But instead of doing 50 reps on one side and then 50 reps on the other, I'm going to alternate in sets of 10. So I'm going to do 10 sets on one side, 10 sets on the other, and I'm going to repeat that until I've completed a total of 100 reps. I'm doing that for this exercise and the next exercise. I just think I'm going to be more efficient getting through it that way. I think I'll be able to do the reps faster. But it's up to you. You can do all 50 on one side and then switch to the other. I certainly have done bird dogs that way before when I'm doing 100 reps. So whatever you want to do is fine. but I just want to keep it consistent. So for this one and the next one, I'm going to be breaking them up into sets of 10 on each side, and we'll do that a total of 5 times. So I'm going to be adding weight. I'm going to be holding on to both of my dumbbells like this, but if you're using dumbbells that are not flat on the bottom, I would like you to please just leave one of them out. Leave one hand flat on the mat, and then with the hand that's working, you can hold on to your dumbbell, that's fine. But have your other hand flat on the mat, because if your dumbbells are rounded here, I'm worried they could roll around on you while you have your weight on the dumbbell, and I don't want anyone falling and getting hurt. So if your dumbbells are flat, you can do it the way I'm doing it. If your dumbbells are rounded on the end, just have your hand flat on the mat while the other arm is working, okay? Same thing if you're using water bottles or shampoo bottles. I don't think it's safe to have your weight on something like that, so just have your hand flat on the mat unless you are using dumbbells that are flat on the bottom. And if you don't want to add weight, you don't have to add weight. But when you're ready, here we go. So from our tabletop position, we're going to extend one arm right out in front, extend the opposite leg behind you, and now crunch knee to elbow and extend. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I'm going to switch arms and switch legs. So if you're just using one dumbbell, switch it to the other side. You're going to extend the other arm out in front of you, extend the opposite leg behind you, and crunch knee to elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's our first 20 reps. I'm going to continue doing 10 reps on each side until we have completed a total of 100 reps, 50 on each side, all right? So we're going to do all that we just did another 4 times. And then we're going to do the next exercise the same way. Next one's going to be tough, but we'll get it done. All right. I'm going to keep my rest breaks in between sets as short as I can. So just remember to be going at your own pace. When you feel that you're ready to continue, let's go ahead with another 10 reps on each side. Other side. So that's 40 all day. You have to do that 3 more times. Rest longer if you need to, and if you don't need to rest, you don't have to rest. Just make sure that you're not losing anything off of your form. Remember, your proper form is your #1 priority. When you're ready, here we go. Picking up my count at 40, another 10 reps on each side. That's 60 all day. Just 2 more sets on each side. You're understanding now why I told you to make sure, pretty please, with sugar and a cherry on top, to choose weights that feel light to you. So a lot of these exercises are doable with heavy weights, but not for so many reps. All right, when you're ready, here we go. I'm picking up my count at 60. That's 70. Other side. That's 80. Just one more set of 20 to go, so 10 more on each side. Shake it out. As soon as you're ready, let's come up to tabletop. Extend one arm in front of you, extend the opposite leg behind you, and here we go. That's 90, just 10 more reps, and then we're finished with this exercise. Let's push. $95, $96, $97, $98, $99, last one, $100. All right, nice job. We're not done taxing that core. We're not done taxing our shoulders. That was exercise number 6. We have 4 left to go. We're gonna be down here in a plank position again. So let me show you your body weight modification first. So coming up into a plank position. So hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Make sure your abs are nice and tight. You're gonna lift your hips high. And then from here, you're going to take one hand and extend it first out in front of you, and then up and over. Draw a big rainbow and tap yourself on the booty. Say, good job getting through those first 6 exercises. Then reverse the movement. Draw another rainbow, double rainbow all the way across the sky. There you go, and then twisting into a side plank here. Keep those hips high. Draw a rainbow with the arm, return to your plank position. So again, we're gonna stand one side for 10 reps, switch to the other side for 10 reps, and we're gonna do that until we have completed a total of 100 reps, exactly the same pattern that we just did with our bird dogs. So if you're a beginner, you can do this from a tabletop position, and as you rotate into your side plank, you can keep this bottom knee on the mat for support. Tap yourself on your cute little butte, reverse the movement, and bring it back to tabletop. Okay? So my beginners, this is your body weight alternative, and if you want to add weight to it, you're going to keep one hand flat on the mat, pick up your light weight or your water bottle or whatever you're using, and do the same exercise with weight. I'm gonna do the same thing I did with my bird dogs. I'm gonna have both weights here the whole time, but again, unless you have dumbbells that are flat on the bottom, please don't do it this way. Do it the way I just showed you with your one hand flat on the mat, okay? So, 10 reps on one side, 10 reps on the other until we've completed 100. And then this is, well, the next one's hard too. I told you it was gonna be a tough workout. All right, so when you're ready, holding on to the dumbbells, you're going to come up into a plank position. And now you're gonna reach this one arm forward, bring it around to the booty, reverse the movement, and return to your plank position. That's one. Stay on the same side for 10 reps. Side plank to your regular high plank, that's 2. So for this one also, please make sure you're not locking out your elbows. Your arms shouldn't be perfectly straight. You need to have a nice soft bend to your elbow while you're lifting that weight. The sweat is pouring off of me. It's only a matter of time before it starts getting in my eye and I start crying. That is the literal worst. All right, 10 reps on the other side when you're ready. That is 10, so that's our first 20 reps. This one's taking me so long that I'm gonna mark slashes because I'm always losing count of my reps, and when the exercise takes so long like this, it's so easy to forget where I am. So we've completed a total of 20 reps. So I just marked 2 slashes on my paper so that I don't lose track of where we are. I know this exercise is super tough. You can do 5 and 5 until you get to 50 total reps. That's fine. Remember to work to your own level, so you should always be making whatever changes and modifications you need to make it work for you, whether that's dropping to your knee for the side plank, or dropping the weights, or going down a weight, or reducing the amount of reps, or breaking them up differently, whatever you need to do, okay? I'm sharing my workout with you, but your workout doesn't have to look identical to mine. You are, of course, invited to do exactly what I'm doing right along with me, but you know, you need to do what works for you. So make whatever changes and modifications you need to make it work for you. All right, so when you're ready, let's go ahead and start with our next set of 10 on each side. I know this is a hard one, just hang in there with me. I will say that holding on to this other dumbbell while I'm in the plank position makes this exercise a lot more taxing. So even if your dumbbells are flat on the bottom, if it's getting too difficult, try keeping your the hand that's not working, keeping it flat on the mat. It'll actually make it quite a bit easier. And then from there, if you need to pick up a lighter weight, if you need to drop the weight, if you need to drop to your knee. But for your first, the first step of making it a bit easier is letting go of this weight and having your hand flat on the mat. So do what works for you. 10 reps on the other side when you're ready. Shake it out. When I do a plank exercise where I'm holding on to the dumbbells and my entire weight is on one side for so long, it like makes my hand go to sleep a little bit. So just trying to get the blood flowing into my hands. All right, that was set number 40. So we're just gonna keep tackling these in sets of 10 per side until we're done. So we're getting there. 3 more rounds. So shake out the hands, shake out the wrists, stretch out the shoulders, breathe. When you're ready, let's go ahead and get started on our next set of 10. So that was our 50th rep of this exercise. So we're halfway finished. I know it's tough. I just need a minute to breathe before I start on the other side. If you don't need to rest, don't rest. After this, I'm not gonna lie, the next one's really tough, but the last one will go quickly. Okay, so let's keep pushing. When you're ready, let's start on the 10 reps on the other side. So switching sides, 10 more reps. We got this. Last one. To go. So that means just 2 more rounds, okay? Counting 1 round as 10 reps on each side. So we just have to do all that twice more. For the next exercise also, it's a tough exercise, and it's not going to go super quickly, but it shouldn't take as long as this one. And I'm only going to be holding on to 1 dumbbell, so there's that. It'll be less upper body, more lower body. Quads, glutes, core. So really not very much upper body other than that. I'm gonna be holding on to a weight, but you don't need to hold on to weight. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. First, let's go ahead and finish up our final 4 sets of 10 with this exercise. So when you're ready, here we go. 10 reps. As you fatigue, that 9th rep for me, I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't have the movement 100% under control. I kind of dropped my dumbbell a little bit. So then I fixed it on the 10th rep. But as we fatigue, as we're completing more and more reps, and if you're working out outside with me, it's getting hotter and hotter. It's easy to have those little mental lapses and not really focus. It's so important to keep reminding yourself you have to focus on the movement, because if your form starts to get sloppy, you're going to put yourself at risk for injury. So make sure you're controlling the movement. If you're at a point where you cannot control this dumbbell as you place it down on the mat and you're kind of dropping it, that's a signal that you need to either switch to a lighter weight or ditch the weights altogether. All right, if you can no longer do the movement under control, then that means the weights are getting too heavy for you and you need to either rest for a couple of minutes and come back when you've regained enough strength to continue with good form, or just move to a lighter weight or drop the weight altogether, all right? But don't continue in sloppy form, because you're gonna injure yourself and we don't want that. All right, here we go. Another 10 reps. I might have to start doing 5 and 5 because these are just getting so tough, but do your best. Here we go. Other side. Right here, control the movement. Don't let the weight drop. Place it down with control. It's 2, 3, sweat in the eyes, 4, 5 more, 6, 7, 8, just 2 more, push. 9, last one. It's 10. this on. My quads are shaking. My entire core is like jelly. We're gonna be working quads, like I said, lower body next, quads, glutes, and obliques, your entire core really. So hang in there with me. Like I said, the next exercise is gonna be tough. It's not gonna be a super quick one, but it should not take anywhere near as long as this, I don't think, I hope. I mean, I don't think it will, and I hope it won't. All right, I mean, I don't think I hope, I think I know. What am I saying? All righty. So when you're ready, I know this is taxing on the wrists, get the blood flowing, taxing on the shoulders, stretch the shoulders. When you feel like you're ready, we just have to do 10 more on each side, and then we're all done with this exercise. So we are on the home stretch. Here we go. When you're ready, if you need a longer rest break, pause the video. When you feel you're ready to continue with good form, here we go. 10 reps. Quick 15-20 second rest. You don't have to if you don't need to. 5 more. Just these are getting so taxing for me. 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. I could have probably still do unbroken sets of 10, but since this is our last set of 10 on each side, like if I had started doing sets of 5 earlier, I would have been like, no, it's gonna end up taking so long, but this is our last set, so breaking these last 2 sets of 10 down a little further into 2 little mini sets of 5, giving myself a good 20 seconds. In between is only gonna add like another minute to the workout, so I'm not too concerned about it. You don't need to rest, but for me, these are so taxing. And we've done so many reps already that I'm probably just gonna take a short little 15-20 second rest break after the first 5 reps like I did with that last set. You do you. When you're ready, here we go. Final 10 reps, we finally made it. We're almost done with this exercise. I know this one is so hard. It's 1, 2, 15-20 seconds. For me anyway, you take longer if you need it. I probably could push myself and finish the last 5 reps without stopping, but I'm just choosing to give myself a little bit of a rest break. All right, only 5 reps left to go. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Final 2 slashes. That's 90, that's 100. All right. That was exercise number 8 of 10. We are getting there. We have just 2 exercises left. This next one is going to be super tough. So do your best. Again, this is one that we're going to do 50 reps on one side and 50 reps on the other. So again, I'm going to do sets of 10. I'm going to do 10 sets on one side, or 10 reps on one side, 10 reps on the other, and continue until we've completed 100 reps, the same way we've done for the last 2 exercises. The bird dogs, and then, what are we gonna call those? I have to call them double rainbow something, right? I don't know. Or booty spank planks. Oh, booty spank planks, oh my God. Definitely calling those booty spank planks, because why on earth would you do that exercise and not call it a booty spank plank? Give me a break. Any exercise to say, or any excuse to say booty spank plank, I'm there. All right, so body weight version, you're just going to have your hands behind your head. You can clasp them together, or you can just place them behind your head, whatever's comfortable for you. It really doesn't matter. This is going to be like a warrior 2 variation, I think. So if you, all right, I'm going to start by stepping my feet wide apart. So right now, both of my toes are facing you. I'm going to take one foot and point the toes out to the side. So now the toes of this foot are facing you, and the toes of this foot are facing that wall over there. My hands are behind my head. I'm going to bend this knee and come down into kind of a lunge position. It's like a warrior. I think this is warrior 2. I don't remember. I haven't done yoga in a minute. So from this position, you're just going to do this little oblique crunch, bringing elbow to knee. And you're going to do your best to, again, imagine that there's a wall directly in front of you, a wall directly behind you. So you can't lean forward and you can't go back. So when you're doing this motion, you're trying to stay exactly perfectly on this plane, okay? So you're really gonna feel the stretch, and you really need to use those obliques. You're gonna control the movement on the way down, and then you're going to engage those obliques to come up, then straighten the leg, okay? So bend the knee, crunch, upright, and straighten the leg. That is your body weight alternative. And again, we're going to do 10 reps on one side, 10 reps on the other side, and continue with that pattern until we have completed a total of 50 reps on each side, 100 reps all day. So I'm gonna be doing that exact same thing. If you wanna add weight, I'm just gonna be holding onto one 5-pound dumbbell, all right? So for this, you can hold a heavier dumbbell if you want. I just find it awkward to hold 2 dumbbells. So could I add more than 5 pounds of weight to this exercise? Sure. 5 pounds is sufficient, especially after all we've done and all we have left to do. So it's up to you. You don't have to add weight. If you want to add weight, you can hold 1 dumbbell like this. That's what I'm doing. You can hold 2 dumbbells together if you want. I just find it awkward. And I don't think you want to add too much weight to this movement. So be mindful, make the decision that is best for you. But when you're ready, here we go. We're going to start with just 10 reps. So bring the weight behind you, or just bring your hands behind you. Step the feet wide. Now turn the toes on one foot to the side. Bend the knee, come down into your warrior pose. And now you're gonna do your oblique crunch, elbow to knee. Now straighten your torso, straighten the leg. That's 1 rep. So bend the knee, elbow to knee, straighten the torso, straighten the leg. That's 2. 3. We're going to 10 on this side. Keep going. 'Shake it out. That's our first 10 reps. Now we're gonna switch sides. So step the feet wide apart. Now, Take the other foot, rotate the toes towards that wall. Hands come behind your head, weighted or unweighted, that's up to you. Bend the knee, sink down into your warrior pose, and now do that oblique crunch. Keep your body on the same plane. Don't allow your torso to come forward, don't allow it to go back. That's one rep. Bend the knee, elbow to knee, straighten the torso, straighten the leg. That's 2. 3, we're going to 10. Do your best. 7 more. I think that's 10. I'm gonna do one more. I think it was 10, but I also think I may have lost count. And just because I'm right here, I'm resting anyway, and I have my pen and paper there, I'm gonna go ahead and keep score the same way so I don't lose track of where I am. Even though this exercise is not gonna take quite as long as the previous one, my brain is fried at this point. It's gonna be way too easy for me to lose track of where we are, so just gonna do the same thing after each 2 sets. 1 set of 10 on each side. I'm gonna mark 2 slashes so I don't lose track of how many reps we've done. So if you need a longer rest break, you can pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm going to try to pick up the pace a little bit if I can. Not doing the reps faster, but just trying to move more quickly between reps, take fewer rest breaks, shorter rest breaks. So do your best, just trying to pick up the pace without rushing through the movement and without sacrificing your form. So when you're ready, here we go. If you can, really try to make sure you're actually making contact. Your elbow is actually tapping your knee. If you don't have a range of motion that allows you to do that, that's fine, but try your best to actually tap your knee with your elbow. Other leg, here we go, 10 reps. That's another 20 reps. So we get another 2 slashes. Another thing is, as you're sinking down into that lunge or that warrior pose, do your best to try to have your weight over your heel more than over your toes. So try to make sure your knee's not going too far out over your toes like this. Try to make sure that as you bend the knee, it's staying more over the heel of this foot, like the lunging foot. All right, do your best. I don't want any hurt knees on the other side of this workout. Here we go. Another 10 reps on each side when you're ready. That was rep number 50. So we are halfway done with this exercise. And this is the second to last exercise, you guys. So we're getting really, really close. Hang in there with me, let's keep pushing. I know it's been close to 2 hours. This one's gonna end up taking us more than 2 hours, but we'll keep it as close to 2 hours as we can. It's a great workout. I'm actually really enjoying it. So hopefully you are as well. We're almost done. Let's complete this little section with another 10 reps on the other leg. So bend the knee, tap elbow to knee, straighten the leg. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. 10. Okay, 5 and 6. We just need to earn 4 more little slashes. We're so close. And then we're on to our 10th and final exercise. I'm really glad I didn't shoot a long, drawn-out tutorial today because this would have been another 4-hour video. I need to rein it in, you guys. All right, here we go. When you're ready, another 10 reps. Shake it out. Keep the rest breaks as short as you can, but I know at this point in the workout, it's hard. We're fatigued. I'm right there with you. When you're ready, 10 reps on the other side. We got this. Do another 10 reps on each side. I think this is an exercise that Like with the bird dogs, I think I could do all 50 on one side and then all 50 on the other side. I would need to, you know, break it up a little bit, like do like 20 and then 10, 10, 10 or something like that. But I kind of like just breaking it up this way. The reason I broke up this exercise and the bird dogs this way is just to make it match with that plank exercise, our booty spank plank, because I knew for that one, there's no way I was gonna be able to do 50 on one side and then 50 on the other. It would have taken me just a ridiculously long amount of time, so it wasn't worth it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's our 50th rep on that side. We're all done on that side. We just have 10 reps left to go. But yeah, just to keep things consistent, I decided that all 3 of these exercises where we're doing 50 reps on one side, 50 on the other, that I would break them up the same. And I'm glad I did. I think this is, I think it's better to do it this way. At least for me, at least for today, in the context of this workout. So, but you can do 50 on one side and then do 50 on the other if you want. It's fine, it's your workout. You do what works for you. That's 2. I don't want to lose track of my count. And zip the lip. 3, 4, that's 5. Just 5 more. We made it. 6, 7. Feeling those obliques. Feeling those quads. Feeling the glutes. That's 8. Just 2 more. 9. Last one. And 10. 9 and 10. Yes, I still marked down those last 2 slashes because we earned them. All right, so final exercises, Pee-wees. If you watch my workouts regularly, you've definitely seen these before. We even did them recently, I think even like maybe last week or possibly the week before. So you're just squeezing the weights together behind you. So squeeze the weights together until they barely tap. Again, just make sure you're controlling the movement. You're not banging the weights together. You're just squeezing until they just tap. Then extend the arms and squeeze. It's not a huge range of motion. You're not going out really far. You're just kind of pulsing right here. So again, just something really, really light, okay? 1 pound dumbbells, a couple cans of soup or water bottles if you can. If that really is too much for you, or you just are adamant and you don't want to add weight, if you have a resistance band, this is a great exercise to do with a resistance band wrapped around your forearms or around your wrists, okay? If you don't have a resistance band and you don't want to add weight, again, it's not going to be very challenging, but you can do the same exercise without any added weight. You can just kind of clap your arms or your hands together behind your back. That's totally fine. Or you can pick any other exercise of your choice that you want to do if that's not going to work for you. But that's your body weight alternative. And that's the last exercise, Pee-wees. 100 reps. So when you're ready, shoulders back and down, chest lifted high. Slight bend to your knees, plant those feet into the ground, tighten up your abs, bring the weights behind you, and we're just gonna squeeze them together, and that's 1 rep. Just keep squeezing and tapping the weights together lightly. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to 100. Do your best. 40. 50. 70. Don't let those shoulders creep up. Keep pushing them down. 80. 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. I'm going to do a few extra. Just because those first few reps I was going slowly and kind of talking you through it. So I wanted to do a couple extra reps just to kind of make up for that. All right, you guys, we are still under 2 hours. So if you're not doing the additional cardio, your workout is almost complete. You still have to do your bonus burpee. So do your bonus burpee and then you can go ahead and do your stretching. Please don't skip your stretching. It's really important to take a good 15-20 minutes at least after the workout, more if you have time to stretch. As long as you're stretching at some point during the day, it's fine. But the best time to do it is right now, immediately after the workout, because your muscles are nice and warm. When your muscles are already warm, they're going to be more pliable. The stretching is going to be more effective and you're less likely to pull something or injure yourself or overstretch. So if you can't afford to take a few minutes directly after the workout, 15 minutes at least, 30 minutes if you can, and do a little stretching, that is advisable. That's my recommendation. But after you have done your bonus burpee and taken a few minutes to stretch, you can go ahead and have your shower, eat some lunch, and get on with the rest of your day. If you are continuing on with me, we are finishing the way we started with another 10 minutes or so of moderate paced cardio. So for me, I'm doing 10 sets of 100 with my jump rope, the same thing we did for part 1. You can do plus or minus 10 minutes of any other type of cardio exercise you want. Part 1 took me a little under, took me just about 9 minutes. This one will probably take me a little over 10 minutes, but it's still gonna be somewhere in that neighborhood, hopefully. So like I said, just plus or minus about 10 minutes or so, something in that neighborhood. So if you need a longer rest break so that you can towel off and hydrate and maybe like eat a half a banana or something so you don't cramp up, you can pause the video, take as long of a rest break as you need. When you're ready to come back and start our final cardio section, let's get started. So I am doing 10 sets of 100 with my jump rope. Wish me luck, here we go. One down, 9 to go. All right. Just keep pushing. Take it one set at a time. still under 2 hours, just barely. Just now hitting the 2 hour mark. So let's keep it as close to 2 hours as we can. That was set number 3. We have another 7 sets to go. That last set, I tripped over my jump rope on rep like 40. If you trip over your jump rope, you do not have to go back and restart the set. Just take a deep breath and get right back into it. As soon as you can, pick up your count where you left off and finish out your set of 100, okay? Just do your best. That was set number 5. We're halfway there. Just 5 sets left to go. Take it one set at a time. We got this. Just 2 more sets to go. We're right there. Let's keep pushing. We made it. Final set of jump rope. And yeah, again, I'm marking down that final slash, even though I don't need to keep track of my count anymore because I earned it. So that was set number 10. That's part 3. And all of that took me 2 hours, 6 minutes and 56 seconds. So longer than I wanted it to, but I actually really, really enjoyed that workout. I thought it was great. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go, but when I do a workout that includes jump rope, as this one did, as they pretty much all do lately, in addition to my bonus burpee, I also like to do a bonus set of 100 with the jump rope. It is completely optional, but if you would like to join me, just 1 final set of 100, any style of jump rope you want to do is fine, counting 100 revolutions of the rope. When you're ready, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. So that's it for our little jump rope bonus. Just a little exclamation point on the end of the workout, a little celebration that we got it done. We summoned the motivation, we got dressed, we got out here and we did the reps. So now we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. When you're ready, final rep of the day. Here we go. This is actually my first and only push-up of the whole day, which is very odd for me. All right, here we go. Final rep of the day, bonus burpee. That was like the world's slowest burpee, but it counts. With that, the workout is now officially complete, but It is Monday, so that means that it is time for another Monday McFlurry Mobility Challenge. I found another mobility challenge on Instagram. I'm going to attempt it right now, and if I am able to successfully complete this mobility challenge, everybody wins a free McFlurry. So if you want to try this one with me, all you're going to need is a piece of paper. Let's go ahead and watch it together so that you can see the movement. It's really simple, actually. All right, so they're gonna show a bunch of people trying it. Some of them are successful, some of them are not. But basically, they just have, okay, so they have a piece of like printer paper. It's folded in half lengthwise and it's standing upright on the floor. And then the challenge is to bend over on one leg and pick up the piece of paper in your teeth. So she had, okay, the first couple, they have their hands behind their back. She has her hands behind her back, but then like, she's got her hands just flailing all about, and she's being very demure, very mindful, holding her hair back with one hand. So I guess it doesn't matter where your hands are. I'm sure I'll probably just have my hands behind my back, I don't know. But it's basically just a one leg deadlift. Let's just watch a couple more. So this one, I remember her, she failed. She's got her arms flailing all over. So I think this is the last one. So just hinging at the hips kind of, and bending down and picking up the paper in your teeth. So it's basically just a one leg deadlift. And this is an exercise that I do quite often. So I don't think I should have any problem with this. However, I don't know if when I do a deadlift, I'm getting close enough to the ground that I would be able to pick up a piece of paper in my teeth. So, and I also think it's going to increase the difficulty if I have my hands behind my back. So I'm gonna try to do it with my hands behind my back, but apparently that's not part of the challenge because some of those people were marked down as a success, but they did not have their hands behind their back. So I guess that part of it is just a personal preference. I guess the only thing that really counts as the challenge is bending over on one leg and picking up the paper in your teeth. So grab a piece of paper, fold it lengthwise down the middle, and let's give this a shot and see what happens. All right, so I've got my piece of paper. I have folded it down the middle lengthwise, and I'm going to just place it here on the ground. They were doing this indoors, so there was no breeze. I'm hoping it's not especially breezy out here, but I'm hoping my paper will stay put. And then from here, you're just bending down on one leg and picking up the paper in your teeth. So this is essentially a one leg deadlift, all right? So tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets. You want your shoulders back and down. Lift your chest high and tighten up your abs. You're gonna pick up one foot and you're going to hinge at the hips. So push your booty back. And imagine trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty as you're trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. Nice elongated spine, and make sure that this the knee of the standing leg is bent. Do not try to actively straighten this leg and lock out your knee. You're going to be bending the knee as you bend down to get the paper. So make sure you're starting with a soft bend in this knee. And I'm going to try this with my hands behind my back. So placing both hands behind my back, lifting up one foot, and now wish me luck. We're gonna hinge at the hips, bend that standing leg as much as you need to get all the way down until you can grab this piece of paper with your teeth. I'll admit, I thought this one was gonna be easy, but that was my first attempt and I failed. Warped wall rules, remember, we always get 3 attempts. So as long as I can get it within those 3 attempts, that's a win, and we all get free McFlurries. But I'm gonna zip my lip this second time, just so that I can focus more on my movement and hopefully get down closer to the paper. Obviously, when I do a deadlift, there goes my paper. When I do a one leg deadlift, I don't have my hands behind my back, and that is making a difference. And I'm always tapping my hands down on the ground. So without my hands to assist me, so you saw some people had their arms like they were trying to use their arms to balance, I guess, but it does increase the difficulty to have your hands behind your back. So I'm gonna give it another shot. Stand up my little piece of paper. And I'm going to just try to focus on bending this leg a little more so that I can get closer to the paper. And I'm getting like close to it, but I need to actually get close enough that I can grab it with my teeth. So here we go. Attempt, stay there please. All right, attempt number 2. So you can have your hands out to the side if that's easier for you, that's fine. I wanna try it again with my hands behind my back. So let's give it another shot and see if we can get this. When you're ready, here we go. Have been the prettiest thing ever, but I was successful. So free McFlurries all around. If you didn't get it yet, don't worry, you get one more chance. If you did get it, you can stop here, that's totally fine. Or you can do this third attempt with us and see if you can clean yours up a little bit. That's what I'm gonna do. I wanna work on getting mine nice and clean so I can make it into a little reel to share on Instagram. So when you're ready, here we go. Attempt number 3. So I'm gonna put my paper on the ground. Please don't blow away. Both hands behind my back, and now I'm gonna pick up one foot. And then we are going to bend down. One leg, no hands. We did it! Free ice cream. So that was a close call today. I failed on the first attempt, but I got it on the second too. That counts. Free McFlurries all around. Another successful Monday McFlurry Mobility Challenge in the books. If you did this mobility challenge with me today, let me know how you did with it. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you are not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format and how everything fits together, if you have questions about the exercises that we were doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications, I am right here, so please just ask. That is gonna do it for today, but before I say goodbye, I have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is, I do vow to. So if you are still watching this video, hello. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says, I do vow to. That is gonna do it for today, and I will see you all next time. Bye.